Let's begin, shall we?
Hi, hello, welcome in. Let us get started with our movie puzzle. If I'm on the right movie puzzle. Alright. Uh, if we get another duplicate, we're gonna do a different puzzle, too. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get started with this one, see what happens. 3, 2, 1, let's go! Sideways, someone... Oh. Sandra, oh. Single man, so there's gonna be... Oh, it's not. The only people I can think of in that movie off the top of my head are Colin Firth and Julianne Moore, but neither of those fit. Evelyn Wang. Sage! Hi, hello, welcome in. How are you doing today? Who's Wang? Evelyn Wang. I don't know what character that is off the top of my head. Might have to come back to that one. Who is in Coco? What show? I don't know. It just has the character name. Oh, why can't I think of his name? Okay, so it's not Gail Garcia Bernal. It's... Ugh. I'm struggling today. You got the first one okay. Oh, okay. Someone in Split. We know this one. It's one of our favorites. Anya, Taylor, Joy. Boom. So we got the first letter and last letter of the first name, so we at least made some progress. Alice in Wonderland, I'm guessing it's gonna be... I don't know how to spell her last name. I'm guessing S is the third letter, but not 100%. Johnny Castle. That sounds vaguely familiar, but I can not put my finger on it. Dead Man Walking, a movie I have not seen. Pretty sure that it's going to be Renee Zellweger just because of the extra E there. Something like that. And then Shutter Island. 3 names, so it's not going to be Leonardo DiCaprio. It's not going to be Mark Ruffalo. You don't know any of these shows? That's because these shows are movies, Sage. Just messing with you. Who else was in that? Michelle Williams was in it. Dang, yeah, I cannot. Yeah. This is... We're off to a rough start today. So the first name is not Henry. Um, what other names start with H and end with Y? First names. Because I'm 100% confident with Sandra Oh and Anya Taylor-Joy. I think maybe W-A-S. Oops. And Johnny Castle sounds very familiar. I feel like when they show this one, I'm gonna be annoyed that I didn't get it. Dead Man Walking, I feel like, is that a Nicolas Cage movie? No. I don't know. Oh, what's his name? He played Rorschach in Watchmen, and he was the new Freddy Krueger for one movie that no one went to see. Jack Earl Haley? Yeah, it fits. Liv, hi, hello. Enemies are gonna say hi and go with. Okay. Appreciate the lurk. Thanks for stopping by. Oof. We only got 2.5 minutes left, and I have no ideas. Oh, I know it. Oh, I can't spell worse shit though. Hillary? Whew. That was lucky. 100% pure luck. But we kept our 100% success rate going. Oof, that was brutal. All the ones we guessed, we got perfectly right, though. So Jennifer Goodwin was in A Single Man. Okay. Michelle Yeoh was Evelyn Wang. I need to look up who that is. Okay, it's her character from Everything Everywhere All at Once. I appreciate that they are stepping up and not making these easy, but hoo-wee. Let's see. We got Sally Field for an Oscar winner. Yes, she won an Oscar. I think this was for Coal Miner's Daughter. Edward James Olmos was a voice in Coco. Okay, that makes sense. Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, like I got Mia and WAS, which is all we needed to get, but yeah, I wasn't getting the rest of her last name because I can never remember how to spell all of it. Johnny Castle was Patrick Swayze. It's his character in. What? Did not mean to. Let's search for Patrick Swayze. Okay, Johnny Castle is the name of his character in Dirty Dancing? Alright. Yeah, I might have gotten Bodhi, probably not, and might have gotten James Dalton, but there's been two of them now, so I don't know. Then we got Peter Sarsgaard for Dead Man Walking, movie which I have not seen. Oh, that's the one with Sean Penn. Susan Sarandon and Sean Penn. Won an Oscar. Alright. Yeah. We only got a couple up right, but we were able to get the final solution, final answer. Somehow. That was brutal. Alright. On to hopefully getting some writing done today. So, previously on writing about our witches. We picked up with Margaret in the woods on her own quite a bit of time after our initial sequence. She found some mushrooms, she ate them, she was ready to die, but she didn't. She found herself waking up in a Shawnee longhouse, and a healer is tending to her, and she kind of drifts in and out of consciousness. The second time she drifts in, she hears some voices outside of the longhouse, and she looks out and sees, for just a fraction of a second, Helene. And that's where we left off. So we are at night. And I want to change some of this text. Do I call it a bed that she's lying in? Yeah, I guess we can call it a bed. Let's see. Because I don't think there's a door. Yeah, there's just an opening. So, underlying matter shifts in the bed. Something else has. She pulls herself toward the opening. Alright, so she's in the bed. She's trying to get towards Helene. She's summoning all the strength she has to pull herself. So unrelenting, Margaret shifts in her bed. Summons. All the strength she has to pull herself toward the opening, but slumps to the ground. Yeah, so she's trying to pull herself forward, but it's too far away, so all she can do is just kind of slump to the ground. I'm gonna actually pull this down there. So I don't want to call it an assistant, because that's not probably correct. And I don't want to call it like a helper, because we have too many H names already, because we have Helene, we have the Hunters, and we have the Healer. An Apprentice, that could work. So noticing Margaret, Healer along with an Apprentice, nears Margaret. feel like I use struggles too much, so I'm going to see if there's a better word to use. Struggles. Generator. So it's more to act, pursue, kind of. No, that doesn't quite give the right. We can say she fiddles. Margaret thrashes. SIS. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's probably decent. So we have voices outside, wake up Margaret. She's starting to get better, but she sees the leaders of the tribe talking to someone she doesn't recognize, or she can't quite make out, but the voice is familiar. She shifts, and then she sees for a split second Helene. And then her reaction, she tries to reach out, she shifts, pulls herself out of bed, slumps to the ground, and then she tries crawling, but then noticing that she's doing that, the healer and an apprentice grab hold of her and take her back to bed. Margaret tries to resist, but can't, and then, worn out, she gives in as they put her back in the bed. Hmm. So, in our outline, we have that Helene thinks, or Margaret thinks it can't be Helene because she saw her die, and she thinks her mind might be playing tricks on her. But I almost wonder if this is something we, because I don't know a good way of having her say this, because it wouldn't necessarily track to me. So I almost think this is something we punt down the line to the conversation she has with Bryn, that she's not certain of what she saw because of her physical state of recovering. Yeah. I guess we could have just her saying weakly, like, can't be. But her actions don't necessarily reflect that. Even if she knows it can't be Helene, she still is trying to drag herself over there. Major! Hi, hello. Oh, no worries. Yeah, if you gotta help out your brother, you gotta help out your brother. No worries at all. Hope you're having a good day. We we made it through our puzzle by the skin of our teeth. Like, I got it in like the last second. It was a rough one. Luckily, it wasn't another repeat, so that was good. You're doing okay? Sometimes okay is just okay. Better than not being okay, I suppose. Um, I'm doing all right. Um, Work has been kind of busy this week for me, just because I have to do a work on a big project, so I've been having to meet with a lot of people and just, yeah, lots of meetings, so lots of peopling, and that is quite tiring. But luckily, day's over, made it home okay. Now I get to stream, so yeah, boo to peopling. yeah, I'm basically like I scheduled a ton of meetings and then basically leading up to the meeting, I try to find any reason to cancel it. So I'm like, I don't want to do this. But yeah, I have to do the meetings at some point. So just want to kind of get them over with if I can. But I don't know. And Major, in the puzzle, one of the clues that I was happy we got was Anya Taylor-Joy. I was like, yes, we got that one. We know that one for sure. Because it was like three names with a hyphenate between the last two, and it was from the movie Split. So I was like, oh yeah, we got this one. Let's go with day. Alright, yeah, I feel like that's decent. Yun, what's up? How's it going? Hope the rest of your stream went well. I know I was just there for like the beginning and then had to take off to make it home. Trying to shout yourself out? Actually, yes, we should shout you out because... Well, because people should follow you, but also because... Why is it not going? Hey, there it goes. No worries. Yeah. Um... Yeah, I'm doing, for those who don't know, I'm doing another community beta read on Yunstream on Saturday. We're starting up, I'm switching over the screenplay I'm working on in my own time, so we're going to be starting up a horror screenplay that I've been working on. So I have the first 10 scenes put together that hopefully we can get through. But yeah, we'll be doing that on Saturday. I believe I signed up for 5 o'clock Pacific. Um, yeah, so whatever that translates to for other people. Pretty sure I signed up for 5 p.m. Pacific because that's what I keep thinking it is. Um, yeah, but I know Major has D&D at that time or around that time, so she might not be able to make it, but anyone else interested, we'll be doing that this weekend. And Yun's also having a town hall on his stream tomorrow, Friday. And that starts at 3 p.m. Pacific. And just having discussions with some other writer streamers. So, yeah, go check that out. I will try to check it out. I have some meetings tomorrow afternoon, so I'll be stopping in as much as I can. Yeah, a bunch of events coming up. Lots of good stuff. Hey, Sage is back. Sage saw Major here, so she came back. um, yeah. Kokoro Flow, hi, hello, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, we got lots of stuff going on. Uh, yeah, just trying to stay on top of everything. And yeah, with with my horror screenplay, like I was working on it for a while and then kind of left off. So I went back to all the notes that I had written up for it, and like it was like a page and a half of notes. I'm like, this is gonna be brutal. But I just kind of forced myself to start going through it, start making changes, and it the second half of it is kind of a mess right now, but that's what the editing process is sometimes. Sometimes you just have to destroy the entire thing and rebuild it. Sorry to grab some toast and homemade strawberry mango jam. You were getting hangry. Fair enough. Yeah. If you need to get something to eat, get something to drink, take care of yourselves. It's all good. Okay, so previous scene we have Margaret seeing Helene. She tries to get to her, but can't. And because she's still fatigued from the poisonous mushroom she ate, she ends up falling asleep. But she is going to be awakened the next morning. Uh, yeah, I think we have it like as she's starting to fall asleep, like we push in close on Margaret to see her eyes like starting to close, and then we just snap to the next day where her eyes snap open and she hears the commotion outside. Alright, so her eyes snap open. Oh. I use so many of the same words over and over again that I'm trying to use different ones so it doesn't become repetitive. Um, Disoriented, that's where I wanted to go. Is that right? Disoriented, not tated. Added some extra letters in there, it's okay. Alright, I don't need to be good at spelling, right? So, I know we do some word games during breaks, and then over on Yunstream, he does a lot of word puzzles as well, and yeah, uh, I need to improve my spelling. I thought it was getting better, but sometimes it's I'm way off. Nope. Where's the last place we put Helene? There we go. Okay, we got. Okay, we basically do that. Okay, how in depth do we want to get with this next part? Because basically, we have more or less the inciting incident that Margaret sees Helene again. That's going to be what propels her forward. Because she wants to find her or figure out if what she saw was real or not, because she's not entirely convinced it was real herself. So we've established that. So from here, like, how much do we need to show of her still at the tribe's location? Because basically we just need some days to pass for her to get well enough to leave. So I almost think we try to just montage this out. Yeah, I think that's the solution. Because we really just want to get to the next sequence at this point. Because we've covered what we need to for there. Alright, yeah. So we're going to go interior, exterior. So we want to convey that she's searching. She's starting to get better. What would it be? Ask the tribes person. Okay. Okay, so then house improving, she's searching, and then she approaches the longhouse. She saw Helene enter. She asks the tribesperson a question. Um, oh, so MOS, anytime you see that in a screenplay, um, it just means you can't hear the dialogue. Um, I think it's supposed to be a joke because the person who coined it was, I believe, either a writer or director um, from somewhere in Europe. I don't remember exactly, but they were saying to record it without sound. In some European languages, W's um, aren't like the sound a W makes isn't necessarily used. So they would say without sound. So it became MOS without sound. But because they couldn't pronounce the W, it became an M sounding thing. So they just shortened it to MOS. So one of those weird things. Um, because this is a montage, we don't need to hear it. We just need to see her approach someone, ask a question. The person just kind of dismisses her. I don't know a better way of asking this because I want to show, like, want to know. I don't think there's going to be an easy answer. So we'll just make stuff up as we go. No. Ah, didn't mean to go that far down. Alright, so all that we have covered. 13, 12? Hi, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? Doing good? Good to hear. We like that. Um, yeah, welcome in. We are doing some writing and stuff. We're actually... We just hit an hour, and everyone's back from ad break. Uh, so I'm going to take a quick break, but I'm going to put up some word games if you would like to participate and join in. And I will be back in a couple minutes, and we will pick up with more of the writing stuff. So, yeah. And listen to Major. She is my mod. She is in charge all the time, but especially when I'm not here. What? We didn't even get 1 star for that? We'll start up another one. Restart. Damn it, Major, you beat me to it. I was just a second behind you. T-Rex. Nice. Oh, okay. I messed up because, yeah, on the screen the text or the chat is covering, so I didn't see that Major or no, Kokoro already got meat. Well done, team. There we go. We got 2 stars. Make up for the first one being bad. Oh yeah, I forgot to do.
I'm back.
Alright. I'm back. Thank you for the shout out, Major. I don't know if Kokoro streams. I'm guessing not because they are playing! Exclamation point. Oh, you haven't streamed anything? Yeah. Yeah, because like if we shout out Sage, who is in the chat, like it'll say they're playing Among Us just because that's the last thing she streamed whenever the last time she streamed was. But if you haven't streamed anything, then it'll just leave it blank. Yeah. Okay, so we are probably in the early 1700s. So I'm trying to think. I need to look this up. Okay, so it's been a long time since I've taken American history, so um, so it started. Revolutionary War didn't start till 1775, so up until that point, it was still colonies doing their own things, and then the Europeans trying to exploit it the most they could. Yeah, no worries, Major. Go take care of what you gotta take care of. We will see you later. Hope you have a good rest of the night, and yeah, everything turns out alright. We appreciate you. What would we call that? The thoroughfare? Yeah, I was right. Main road in town. Sometimes I got the right words. Alright, so Margaret gets better. She leaves the Shawnee tribe that she was with, and then we pick up with her weeks later. Okay, what we can do is play into her not feeling as comfortable around people. Yeah, okay. Village. Yeah, that's probably fine. Through the thoroughfare just didn't sound right to me. So she wanders the thoroughfare, the kind of the main passageway of the village. And then there are other villages around, and obviously that makes her uncomfortable. Alright. Yeah, we don't need to spend much time beyond establishing. She's in a coastal village, there's people around. She's looking specifically for the tavern, and then she makes her way in. Because I'm trying to imagine how empty a tavern in the early 1700s would be during the day. Yeah, it just seems like it would just be very bare bones, so like there's not a lot to describe in the area. It's just very basic necessities, very Spartan. Do call it bar, right? Account, yeah. Yeah, I think it's easy to just call it the bar. Oh, okay, it was here.
Nair.
Alright, let's go back to our notes, and we have... Okay. Alright, so we got Bryn's in her late 20s, she's Irish, she's got short red hair. Yeah, we might change the last part of that. But for now, it is fine. Yay! Major's back. We are introducing Bryn. So we have Margaret made her way to the tavern, and Bryn comes out. So now we have a whole lot of talking between them. Okay, yeah, I feel confident that if Bryn runs a tavern in a town in the early 1700s, she's going to know everyone that comes through. And so it's going to be obvious to her right away that Margaret's not from this area. Draws pistols. I'm so I'm up to 1962 in watching tons and tons and tons of movies. So there have been so many westerns that I've gone through. Um, yeah, yeah. 2 nights ago was a pretty good western that I hadn't watched for a long time, so I wanted to rewatch it. It was pretty good. It was called The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Let me see. Okay. Ah, no. Oh, what the? No. everything. That only ends badly. So Margaret does not set down the case of alcohol. Yeah, we'll have to put that there. Yeah, that makes more sense. So initially, when I was thinking of how Margaret was going to describe it, it was going to be this picture plays over and over again in my head, but contextually, that wouldn't make sense because the idea of something playing in their head, like a movie or something like that, like just didn't exist at the time. So it's not something that would make sense. told you the person to talk to. Um, no, we wouldn't need the apostrophe because it's not. Yeah, it's just plural. It's fine. Oop. Help if I put the character name before I start typing dialogue. Sometimes I just get ahead of myself. That's why I sometimes forget to put words and stuff too, because sometimes my brain just goes, we can skip a few steps ahead here. I feel like we underline that instead of bold it. You've been using Render Duet since 2020. It's also cool that you can change the UI colors. Yeah, yeah, that can definitely help. I've never played around with that much. I've just um, used light mode and dark mode, but yeah, kind of whatever. I'm in the camp of kind of whatever someone has to do to get themselves in the right headspace to write. Uh, within reason. Um, I'm all for it. Fitty does not condone the use of any hard drugs. You save the hex codes, screenshots, and if nice. And yeah, in my other job, the one that actually pays my bills, um, I'm a graphic designer, so I know the hex codes. I've had to memorize so many over the years for different places I've worked. But yeah, when you find ones you like, it's always good to keep track of them for future use. Yeah, I have a whole other full-time job that I do. Streaming and writing is just for fun, as a hobby, until hopefully sometime someone pays me to do it. But until then, yep, gotta do something to pay the bills, so I do artwork and graphic design and that kind of stuff. Alright, we are right around 2 hours. Well done, team. We made it. Yeah, I feel like this is an interesting place to stop because it's kind of like the turning point of the conversation between Bryn and Margaret. And I kind of like this better just because it's just dialogue and like just little changes in um, actions between the characters. But yeah, we got kind of the second part of the inciting incident finished up with um, Margaret seeing Helene, and then Helene getting kicked out of the camp, which we'll come back to when we revisit this section from Helene's point of view. And then, yeah, just kind of montaged our out, montaged ourselves out. Just like, okay, Margaret gets better, she's good, she tries to find some stuff, but she can't find anything here, so she goes to North Carolina. And then we got all the stuff with Bryn. So, making some progress. Getting some stuff done. And of course, an ad break starts. Well done. Perfect timing. Let me look. Because I think... Yeah, because we changed that. How many words we get today? 649. Almost nice. So we did quite a bit. We almost doubled what we did last time. But that is going to be it for today. Ad breaks finishing up. So let me look and see who is streaming. Yeah, we can raid them. They were cool last time. Yeah, of course. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out, Kokoro. Yeah, let me get the raid set up and then I'll do all the outro stuff, hopefully. All the things, yeah. So we'll raid back over to author Christy. She was recommended by Liv last stream, and she was really cool with the raid. I set up based on what Major came up with. Raid messages. So the first one is for streamer or for subscribers. The second one is for just followers. Both are amazing and awesome, and I appreciate everyone who stopped by and hung out. But if you want to copy the raid message, we can post that when we raid over there. Thanks everyone for stopping by, hanging out, chatting, lurking, all the stuff, all the things. I will be back on Sunday for next stream, picking up where we left off here. And as I mentioned earlier, I will be on Yunsu's stream on Saturday at 5 p.m. Pacific for community beta read of a horror screenplay I'm working on separately. I'll post up in the Discord when that should be going live as a reminder. I think that's everything. I don't know. I might have forgotten something. The raid's about to go. Everyone have fun. Thanks for coming by. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for checking out my channel. Do whatever you want. Live your life. Hope you're happy in your body. Much love to you. And see you around.